Hello there, Vic Benedict here. We're playing Dead Space on the PC on Impossible difficulty, and we have a huge arena fight here. I did not take damage, and at no point did I go back and save my progress. I don't know where the checkpoints are. I'd have to consult my earlier guide that I did. This is wave 1. It's just a pregnant and an exploder. Very innocuous wave, not in keeping with the capacity of this room, which is certainly more than 2, which will be filled up with enemies. So you can save after each wave if you want to, and that's what I did on my guide, but I thought I'll just try to do it this way because it's perfectly subject to being memorized very easily if you do it a couple of times. It took me a few deaths to learn it, but oh man, later on in the fight when I got pinned in, I had no idea if I was going to get a checkpoint, but I didn't have to find out. So anyway, interacting with the panel is going to spawn these enemies here. You're going to have one exploder coming down to say hello to you. Hopefully you can stave off that greeting. And then we'll have 2 of those tall slashers and a pregnant. These guys are very, very fucking fast. To keep up with them, you're going to probably have to use the plasma cutter. Although I do use all 3 of the different weapons at intervals. Man, it's tough. Tough to do this. Like that right there. When he's bearing down on you like that, who knows if you're going to get in the stasis shot. And just watch out for these pregnants because they birth the lurkers, a pair of lurkers each time. At least, I'd rather have those. Seriously, I'd rather have those enemies because at least I can deal with them easily. You know, so throw your mines right there. And what's going to happen is you're going to trigger spawns as you move the marker and afterwards too, after you lock it into place. I love this game. I love this level. It's such a great... I can't tell you how great this game is. So, there's no tricks. I have no tricks up my sleeve. I did not go back and save it. This is all, this is all continuous footage. Okay, this part's pretty tricky. Stasis and mine. Stasis and mine. Then turn around and start using the line gun on these guys to rip them up. Hopefully the mines will have done the trick a little bit for taking off the majority of their HP. Ooh, bitch. Did you see what that guy did? He almost pincered me with his claws right there. And I just got paranoid right there. I was trying to put the stasis on me. So sometimes you might get these enemies and you might get them cutting you off. But like if you can get them all grouped up like into an area by kind of baiting them and leading them on, like all you have to really do is just keep. I get really paranoid. I keep looking down the hall when you just never know. So just finish off this first. This is wave 2. It's not that difficult, but as you saw that first group of enemies, very easy to get hit on those guys because you've got 2 enemies on either side of you charging at you. So we're gonna drag we're gonna use the stasis when there's no enemies, seriously. And because there's no edits over here, you're gonna watch me running around a little bit trying to get some ammo. And I don't know if there's a checkpoint. Like I mentioned, I'll have to rewatch my guide. But I would say, did I save it? I don't know what I did on my guide. I probably saved it. Ooh, like where the hell did that guy come from? I did nothing with the marker to trigger that. Bitch almost ended my session. Fucking pig bitch. So, I honestly can't say how that guy gets spawned. Maybe it's approaching one of the sides of this arena without moving the marker. But that's wave 3. Just one enemy. Tricky that they just do that, isn't it? So you move this up, and then you're going to trigger these here, but they get triggered by just interacting with the panel initially after you dispatch the 2 enemies in wave 1. So I decided since the plasma cutter is going to be so beneficial to me, I don't want to run out of bullets for it, so I'm going to use the force gun. The contact beam. So you'll have to pardon me if I don't get too many accurate hits with the force gun. Well, God, I keep saying the wrong thing, don't I? Just watch out for these things. There's 2 of them along each aisle, a total of 6. They don't have to be killed, as you can see. Like the ones to the left, I've left them alone. But this pair has to be killed because you'll never be able to move the marker without them hitting you. So just bear with me. I'm going to try to get these shots in. And I think they leave you alone with waves until you move the marker in place. That's the funny thing about this game. There's no insignia or any kind of signpost about, you know, that the game is checkpointing or saving even. So you really you don't get that instant verification. So what I was hesitant about doing over here was going on top to the right by those vents, because I didn't want any enemies popping out. I knew there were enemies, but to be honest, you guys, I thought there was only going to be, you know, a couple of lurkers. I didn't know I would get pinned in over here like I do. So I thought, you know what, if I don't have a checkpoint, then this is going to start taking me a long time, because I can hear enemies. That's why I'm swiveling the camera around so fast. The faster I start swiveling it, the more desperate I am. And look at this. The horror. The horror. Do you get a checkpoint over here? Who knows? He strafed. That motherfucker strafed. I didn't even see him do that. But see, if you can skirt past them, stasis him, and then get them all into a collective group over here. Although that mine was just dropped out of haste. It spawned a couple of lurkers, so... See, there they are getting birthed right there out of his belly. And this is great, just to get on one side of these guys. But just be careful, because I have no idea if they start at the beginning of Wave 1. I think they actually might do. But I'm just glancing down that corner because I'm just absolutely paranoid. But these are the last 2 enemies, and I did do all that, no saving. So, the horror, that's all I can really say. The fucking horror. Alright, after that fight, we're going to have encounter number 2 of 5 encounters. So drop a mine right there is a really good idea, because that guy drops into this room, which is from Chapter 1. We've already been in this room. It's where the massacre took place with the other crewmates. So it's a really good idea, because the tripwire point is after you've ascended the stairs, or as you are ascending the stairs. I can't pinpoint it exactly. But the lockdown does occur pretty much around there. So it's not a difficult room. If enemies fall on you, like if they're above you and jumping down into the room from a vent, it doesn't take away damage from you. It stuns you for a second, and you have to recover from the animations, but it doesn't damage you. That is a quality title right there, because any other game you would take damage. So, coming down here as you approach the marker, you're going to have these lurkers coming. There's easily 4, maybe even 5. Looks like there's 4 or 5 of them. So you want to use these to instant kill them if you want. And you're going to have 3 waves down here of different enemies. I had no issues over here, so hopefully you won't either. And I think one of the problems that this game has, even though it's not... It would just be more finessing on an already finessed and damn near perfect game with an unparalleled level of preparedness already. But I think enemies should have like a weak area, like one part. I mean, sometimes you can one-hit kill them, and it just seems like it's pretty arbitrary sometimes. But it would be nice if that were a little more consistent. You know, if there was one particular place on their body that you could hit, and only skill would be able to exploit that area, or luck. But that's just me. It works perfect. The HP system, it basically takes off more when you sever a limb, and if you're just going for, you know, main torso hits, it's just gonna take a long time. They still can be killed that way, but it's just like doing chip damage on enemies. So what's going on here is kind of weird. I explained it in my guide, but you have to revolve the track so that it's going in the correct way. And obviously, the way it is when you bring the marker over to it is not the way it needs to be. So it looks like nobody's coming, but I haven't done this for about a week, so I forgot what's going on over here. Basically, you're going to get a lurker and a leaper coming in. How is that determined? I believe once we pull this thing back towards us and to the left a little bit. So you'll have to excuse me right there. I didn't realize that I had to revolve the track again. It's pretty tedious, this part, but very manageable. Okay, so as you move it there, I saw that leaper come out of that vent. And, you know, just try to use these to the best of your ability. It looks like there's two over there, maybe a third somewhere. So that guy is killed. And then how many are left? One. So it looks like there's possibly only two of these. Yeah, wave 2 is just 2 leapers. So he's grabbable, meaning he's dead. So we're going to move this back over to the left. And you'll just have to pardon me. I can't remember every little thing about some of these picayune details here. But if I'm moving around, it must be because I heard something. That screeching noise. I think the leapers make the most terrifying noise in this game. It's so horrifying. So if you'll pardon me, I'm just sipping on my ginger tea. Now we need to revolve the track, move it onto here, and I think before this is finished, you are okay. There's the last spawn. I love grabbing things that aren't what I'm trying to grab. I do have the kinesis outfitted all the way up, so I think we took care of that guy. There's just okay. There wasn't a leaper and a lurker. There was 2 of these, 2 lurkers. Okay, another great fight. I love these fights, as you well know. So you'll enter this room after you've restored gravity and talk to... Do you talk to Nicole? Yeah, we're meeting up with Nicole. So, pretty simple fight, but I think I got damaged on that fight on my guide. I'll have to check it out. And in typical Dead Space fashion, as you're going to the very end of the stage, there is yet one more encounter. So 3 of these black leapers. I love this game because even if you don't have stasis, these enemies get staggered and stunned and reel back as they should when you're hitting them with weapons. I mean, it's a simple thing, but sometimes in other shooters that doesn't happen, and it needs to happen. So I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the final chapter.